In the annals of unsolved disappearances, the case of Lars Mittank stands out not only for the chilling CCTV footage that showed him running from Varna airport in Bulgaria, but also for the baffling series of events that led to his vanishing. A young, healthy, 28-year-old German man disappears in broad daylight, leaving behind more questions than answers. Despite an extensive investigation, no concrete leads have emerged, leaving many to speculate on what truly happened to Lars. Over the years, several theories have gained traction, ranging from plausible to outright fantastic. Let's explore the biggest theories surrounding the disappearance of Lars Mittank. Injury and paranoia induced mental breakdown. One of the most straightforward theories is that Lars Mittank suffered a severe mental breakdown, possibly triggered by his head injury, which led him to behave irrationally and eventually disappear. Before his flight home, Mittank had gotten into a fight with other German tourists over a disagreement at a bar, resulting in a ruptured eardrum. This injury prevented him from flying immediately, which could have added to his stress and frustration. After being treated for his injury at a local hospital, Lars began exhibiting strange behavior. He called his mother from Bulgaria, telling her he didn't feel safe and that people were following him. He even sent a text asking her to cancel his credit cards, which added to the sense of unease surrounding his mental state. His mother later stated that Lars seemed increasingly paranoid during their conversations. It's possible that his injury, combined with exhaustion, stress, and potentially a fear of flying due to his medical condition, led to the development of psychosis or some form of paranoia. This theory is supported by his erratic actions caught on the airport's CCTV footage, where Lars is seen running out of the terminal and into the woods without any clear reason. In this scenario, Lars may have fled due to a mental health crisis, becoming disoriented and lost in the wilderness, or, tragically, meeting his demise without anyone finding him. Drug-induced psychosis. Another theory that has been proposed is that Lars was suffering from drug-induced psychosis. Some speculate that during his time in Bulgaria, he may have been exposed to or voluntarily taken recreational drugs, which could have interacted negatively with his prescribed medication for his ear injury. This theory has gained traction because certain substances, especially when combined with prescription drugs, can cause intense paranoia, hallucinations, and erratic behavior. Additionally, in the lead-up to his disappearance, Lars exhibited symptoms that could be consistent with drug use, including agitation, paranoia, and an overwhelming fear that he was being followed. His sudden, unexplained panic at the airport, an environment known for being busy and stressful, could have triggered a heightened state of anxiety, leading him to flee. While there's no hard evidence to suggest Lars took any illicit substances, this theory remains a possibility given the strange nature of his final movements and the region's known issues with drug trafficking. Foul play, a target of organ trafficking or local crime. The idea that Lars Mittank was the victim of foul play has been a popular theory among true crime enthusiasts and online sleuths. One variation of this theory posits that Lars may have been targeted for organ trafficking, a crime that, while rare, does occur in some parts of Eastern Europe. According to this theory, Lars' paranoia about being followed could have stemmed from real threats. His altercation at the bar might have made him a target for local criminals or organized gangs who prey on vulnerable tourists. Organ traffickers, for instance, are said to target healthy young individuals, and Mittank's medical condition might have made him an even more attractive target since he had recently visited a hospital. Proponents of this theory suggest that Lars was being watched or pursued by criminals, which might explain his erratic behavior and fear. In this scenario, his disappearance could have been the result of an abduction, with Lars either being trafficked or killed after trying to flee his pursuers. However, critics argue that organ trafficking is a far-fetched theory due to the logistical difficulties of such a crime, especially in a public space like an airport. The fake doctor conspiracy. One of the more peculiar details of Lars' case is his visit to a local doctor on the day of his scheduled flight. According to reports, Lars was staying at a hotel near Varna airport when he expressed concerns about flying due to his ruptured eardrum. He sought a second opinion from a doctor, who prescribed him an antibiotic called cetirizine, commonly used to treat bacterial infections. But some internet sleuths have speculated that the doctor Lars visited might not have been legitimate, and that he could have been involved in some kind of sinister scheme. In this scenario, the doctor could have administered a substance that caused Lars paranoia, hallucinations, or erratic behavior, or perhaps even orchestrated a plot to traffic him. This theory is based largely on speculation, as there is no evidence to suggest the doctor was involved in anything illegal. However, it remains one of the many potential explanations for Lars' strange behavior in the days leading up to his disappearance. Voluntary disappearance. Lars is still alive. One of the less sinister but equally perplexing theories is that Lars Mittank chose to disappear voluntarily. His behavior could have been the result of a psychological break, leading him to abandon his former life and start anew. This theory suggests that Lars, for reasons unknown, decided to vanish and is possibly living off the grid somewhere, either in Bulgaria or a nearby country. Some who support this theory point to cases of individuals who have disappeared and resurfaced years later after starting a new life, either due to trauma, mental illness, or a desire to escape their former identity. They believe that Lars running into the woods was his way of leaving everything behind. While this theory offers a glimmer of hope for his family, there is little concrete evidence to suggest that Lars is still alive. His disappearance triggered extensive searches in the surrounding areas, and no verified sightings of him have been reported since that fateful day in 2014. Government or military involvement. Though it may sound like a plot from a spy thriller, some have speculated that Lars Mittank's disappearance might involve governmental or military entities. This theory suggests that Lars may have witnessed something he shouldn't have, or that he became inadvertently involved in an intelligence operation. Varna, where Lars disappeared, is not far from military bases and other strategic locations. According to this theory, Lars may have encountered individuals connected to these operations and, knowing too much, became a target for a covert operation. While there is no substantial evidence to support this idea, theories involving secret government actions or espionage are often floated in cases like this, where the lack of clear answers leads to increasingly speculative explanations. Wildlife or accidental death in the wilderness. A more mundane yet tragic theory is that Lars fled into the wilderness surrounding the airport and succumbed to the elements, an animal attack, or an accident. Given that he was last seen sprinting into a heavily forested area, it is entirely possible that Lars, in a state of distress, got lost and met with misfortune. Despite extensive searches, the thick terrain and possible wildlife threats may have prevented the discovery of his body. Bulgaria's natural environment is home to various animals that could pose a danger, especially to someone in a disoriented state. While this is one of the simpler theories, it also begs the question of why no trace of Lars has been found after all these years. The disappearance of Lars Mittank remains one of the most baffling cases in recent history. With no body, no clear evidence of foul play, and only the haunting footage of his last known movements, the mystery endures. Whether his disappearance was the result of a mental breakdown, foul play, or something even more sinister, we may never know the full story of what happened to Lars Mittank. Until then, the theories will continue to circulate, offering glimpses into the possible fate of the man who vanished without a trace.